Hey students, it's Mrs. Lee. I'm here to go over Lesson 6. So we're in 8A, Subunit 3, Lesson 6 and Amplify. I want you to first go to the vocab app. I want you to pause this video and spend 7 minutes on the vocab app. Remember, the vocab app is part of your grade, so you need to be mastering those words. Pause the video now and work on the vocab app. Alright, today in Amplify we are continuing what we did yesterday in Amy Tan's Fish Cheeks. So what you're going to do is compare how the narrator, Amy Tan, compares herself and her family to how she portrays Robert and his family. So for example, you're just going to copy and paste in some quotes from the text. For example, how she portrays Robert and his family. She says, "For Christmas I prayed for this blonde-haired boy." So you're going to do that for 3 of these boxes. The way that you add one of these boxes is just click right here where it says add row. So I want you to do 3 for Robert and his family and 3 for her and her family. Then you're going to go to number 2 and you're going to talk about the shame that Amy feels. So in class we've been talking about shame and how shame is different from guilt. And guilt is like feeling bad about something, but shame is like feeling you are bad and you are incompetent. So is she feeling no shame, a little shame, some shame, moderate shame, or extreme shame? And then I want you to answer, has Amy been feeling shame, and how can you tell? And then you're going to go to card 3 or activity 3. Another poll here, so I want you to think back to the first time that you read the story yesterday. How surprised were you when the narrator said that the meal had included her favorite foods? Did that surprise you at all? It definitely surprised me when I read it, because I thought it was interesting that the mom had actually really taken the time to do something very, very nice for Amy. Then you're going to go down to number 2. And you're going to think about Amy's mother's actions in the story. She serves all of Amy's favorite Chinese foods like we just talked about, and later that night she gives Amy a mini skirt. So why does she do those things? Why does she give her a mini skirt? Why does she also ensure and remind her of her Chinese culture? What's she trying to show her? Answer that in at least 2 sentences. And then number 2, what has Amy come to understand by looking back at this event as an adult? So she has a different perspective as an adult than she did as a young girl. And I want you to explain that. Then you're going to go to number 4. You're going to complete this writing. It says, what is one important difference between how Amy Tan felt about the Christmas Eve dinner as a teenager and how she feels about it as an adult? You need to use evidence from the text. So I want you to use one piece of evidence that describes how she felt as a child or a young girl and explain that. And then one piece of evidence of how she feels about it as an adult and explain that. Remember to use races, restate, answer, cite, elaborate, and then sum up. Number 5, you're going to skip. Number 6, you can skip number 6 as well, and you're going to answer number 7, the exit ticket. And it's just a matching where you have this purpose in the story and you're going to connect that to one of these details. So one of these details matches one of these purposes. Number 8, you're going to complete the solo questions for My Mother's Garden, which we will be reading tomorrow. Okay, if you have any questions, please email your teacher, Mrs. Lee.